Hi guys, welcome to our new segment called the Goss by ReShape Co. We're gonna now just talk about different topics that we've learned throughout our journey as being entrepreneurs or just in general while building ReShape Co. Every week we'll discuss one particular topic or question. So if you do have anything that you want us to talk about, do let us know. This week, I'm starting with a question. So my question is that what is one thing that, or one process or anything part of ReShape Co that you would not continue in your next venture or would not take forward to your new startup or anything that you start after this?
That's a tough one.
You said this was going to be easy.
You said it's easy. Yeah, you said no.
I swear. Wait,
one simple question.
It is simple, I think.
Okay, then you go
My
first.
question was so easy. Yeah, go first.
Okay, go
I
first.
have an answer.
I will not take my co-founders to the next one.
Okay then.
Excuse me?
I think you mean one certain co-founder.
Yeah, but I didn't want to isolate him, you know.
Except me, you know.
I'm not sure who it is.
I think it's me, dude. I think it's me.
Okay, bro. Cool. You can come with me, bro. We will do something. Huh?
Sheen.
But yeah, so like.
Okay, wait.
I have an answer.
Go
So
for it.
I think one thing that I wouldn't personally carry on to my next venture, if there are any, is the idea of having 5 co-founders. And I'll tell you why. I think honestly we've hit the jackpot with ReShape that, like, you know, we work well together. I don't like it's definitely the exception, not the rule. And touch wood, knock on wood. But yeah, I just feel like we got lucky, but I don't think that it always works out with more than 2 or 3 co-founders. Even 3 might be pushing it. Like you see so many startups where, like, you know, just within like a year also one person either leaves or becomes silent, and like eventually it's just 1 or 2 people running the show.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's one
That
thing.
was my answer as well. Like I would say not have 5 co-founders. Again, like echoing your point that it is like a lot and we got lucky. I think all of us get along, but that's not always the case. I also think that all of us deal with argument and differences better than an average team would, which helps us. And like touch wood, so far it's going well. But I think that in general, if it's like 5 random people, it might get like there are just a lot of opinions, and if it's like all differing opinions, it's a lot to handle and it's difficult to please everyone, which means like people's motivations are then like are reduced, and I think it's also like dividing a lot up. So then people don't find like responsibility for each thing. I think all of us are passionate about like consulting and like starting something, so I think it works well for us. But again, like on average or in general, it would be really hard. So if I'm supposed to give advice to anyone else as starting a startup, I would say like to not have more than 2 co-founders. And when like if I ever start something else, I would also not.
And you always have, like, you know, your starting, I guess, equity written down on paper.
Yeah, never do verbal agreements.
Yeah,
there we go. But yeah, just to touch upon that point as well, because I don't want to say it's the same point that I have as well, but just to add on a bit, I think incentives and sort of expectations alignment is super important, because we were lucky enough that, I mean, in a way, you guys are all in sort of different stages of your life. I think Sheen was wrapping up her PhD when we started. You know, 3 of you guys were just like finishing undergrad, but Gokul was going into a master's, and 2 of you were going into a job, but Anuj, you needed to wait till Feb, and John, we were starting straight off the bat. So we were all in like different places in our life, and understanding like, you know, the different sort of priorities that we have at each stage is sort of important, and aligning your expectations with that, I think was super, super useful for us. And even though this is another piece on the whole 5 co-founders thing, even though we did have quite a lot of debate before pushing any ideas through or, you know, getting something out, I think we made really, really high quality decisions regardless of what we did, because, you know, I in the beginning was like super ambitious.
No, Joel,
with,
this is gossip.
This stuff.
Gossip. You need to
Yeah.
say, this is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
your, this is gossip.
See,
bro. Tell us like
I went into
what
a
you wouldn't take
non-profit.
ahead.
I went into a non-profit once, and I was just like, we should raise like 400,000 pounds, like easily, you know, and negotiated, like, and the CEO of Project Access, yeah, JJ was sitting right next to me and she was just like, what are you talking about? But then like, I feel like I always go too high, and then like, you guys were helping me sort of like manage those expectations a little bit as well. So yeah, definitely an important one from my end.
Yeah, and I think
But what wouldn't you take ahead though?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, to be honest.
this is like writing an essay with just
I
loads of
swear,
words.
this
Not
guy,
really
man, this guy
question
gave
of
like
the
a
essay.
whole speech and then didn't give the answer.
So good. What are your
Let me go. So I think I took a massive bet just going into ReShape without knowing either of you very well. I mean, I
Yeah.
only knew Joel from like one conversation, and I mean, obviously it's worked out fine, touch wood again. But at that point we were starting a pro bono thing, trying to help people. So, there was nothing that would really matter at that point. But now that we're taking it further and we've seen how much it's grown, I think I would think a lot more next time before going as a co-founder, because last time I did not even have a conversation with you guys. You did not interview me. You just took me in. Like, I think you took a bigger chance than I did. But yeah, I think it's good to like have a proper conversation, especially because sometimes when you're looking for a co-founder, you're looking for skills, right? So you might not know that person. So it's very important to see what the other person is bringing to the table. What are the expectations? How are we going to expand when we're expanding, and how do we take it forward? And again, no verbal agreement. But yeah, I think that's one thing. I'd definitely be careful next time, if there is a next time, to make sure I veto all the co-founders before. Otherwise I would not be in this situation where I have to see Gokul's face every Saturday.
Okay,
fair enough. We did stalk you on LinkedIn though. I would put that in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Due diligence.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah. That being said, though, I feel like different people have like all these great qualifications, all these great like accolades, but then they're not necessarily great people. Personally, I've come across several of those before. But anyways, like I will finish off my point before
Are you not
Gokul and
done?
JJ can. No. No.
I
So
swear.
my thing that I would not take forward is sort of reaching too low with respect to the kind of outreach that we did early on. So I don't know if you guys remember, but like one of the key things about our execution was the fact that we got a lot of business leaders and industry, like, people to sort of come out and support us quite early on. And with that, I did have a bit of a conservative approach in the beginning. Like, I was like, oh, maybe they're too much of a big fish for us. But in reality, I think what we forget is all of these people are just people. And we oftentimes put them on some sort of pedestal and glorify them quite a lot. But actually, they're also just people, which is why Anuj was able to land Shazam. Like, the founder of Shazam, how crazy is it that we had an interview with that individual, right? So yeah, I would just not take forward with me like a conservative approach with respect to outreach.
Yeah, and plus, like, just to add to that, there's no harm. You can reach out to 1,000 people, even if all 1,000 say no. There's no harm, no foul. Like, it's
You
not
don't
gonna
lose anything.
you'd rather take the chance than not.
Yeah.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Okay.
Okay, Gary V. Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Gokul, what's yours?
I mean, I feel like, I don't know if this makes sense, but like I think one thing that I wish we did more, and that, we would take. Wait, how do I say this? So like essentially, I feel like we had a lack of community development. Yeah, like engagement with our, I guess, like the ReShape community itself, because of how big we were in terms of number of consultants. So I feel like one thing that I think we should make sure that when we go forward is the fact that we build sustainably. We don't explode as quick as we did, because we went from in June having 0 to almost like 200 members, 250, and by Jan next year. So like that itself was like insane. So I think one thing that definitely
So like it was quicker than that as well.
Yeah,
exactly. So like we exploded like really quick. So I think I think that's one thing I would keep in mind, is to grow sustainably in a way that we can make sure that we engage with the community and we grow our community as well as ReShape together. So,
but it's one of those things that you just can't predict, right? Like how do you deal with 210 people at the same time? How do you prevent silos from forming? And like, how do you compassionately communicate with like so many people from so many different countries going through so many different things in the early heights of a pandemic, right?
True.
So I feel like we were way out of our depth in that context. So
I mean, at that point we were all excited. We were like, shit, we're just growing, we're just growing. Let's just keep going. But now we know better. Like, now we know, I guess, how much can we all handle together, and like, how can we like keep improving at each stage. So.
And it's also the fact that like yeah, just not getting caught up in the hype ourselves. Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's not just necessarily for the next venture, right? Even for the future of ReShape, we are considering
whatever we do.
We want to grow more organically, more sustainably, so that we have more of a robust foundation at each stage.
Yeah, just to think long term over short term. I think we got caught up in like, okay, yeah, right now we're growing, like this is the time to like build and things like that. So I think also just looking into like the long term of what we want to see ReShape as, and like try to then build according, like to see the longer timeline and not that this is the end of it in like a month's time. So yeah,
it's like a trade-off. Like, just really quick, it's just a trade-off between riding the hype wave and like also making sure that you can actually sustain once it goes away.
Yeah.
But should we add some juicy gossip element to this? I don't know. Like, in each video we add like a secret that we all haven't, I guess.
What juicy gossip do we have? We don't have any.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Yes. I am very
sure. Have some juicy gossip.
Shut your damn mouth.
Go for it. Let's hear it.
Good.
I guess we'll end every like the Goss session with a funny story that any of us have experienced during our time at ReShape. So any of y'all want to share an experience?
Yeah, I've got a good. I don't know if it's funny, but yeah, like basically in the beginning with like, this is back in July or something, there was this one client and we got on call, and it was just like a really, really good call and very exciting. We began the call by discussing ReShape and the client's business and everything. And it was a very interesting business. We both got like really excited. I thought that the client was doing really well. The client was like really, really excited about ReShape and everything. And then at the end of the call, I was like, yeah, so the next step is kind of we'll send you our extended type form and the due diligence. You have to send us your certificate of incorporation and everything. And right after the call, the client sends me an email saying that, we can't engage right now. And I was like, is something wrong? And then I think he just said something about timeline or something, but I think what threw him off was the certificate of incorporation. So I have a feeling that the client's business was not exactly what he said, or maybe there was something shady going on that I don't know. But yeah, it was just
Dude, that was so funny shit, man.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. The client was not
it might not be
incorporated.
funny. It was funny in the moment. Okay, go read
it again.
Go read the email.
Please tell it again.
Anuj is recalling the adventure right now.
Anuj, please, again, bro, again.
I think it was partially funny. I can give you a...
Yeah, Anuj, you need to rethink the road now. For reference, guys, those are all segment names for
someone mute
our YouTube
video.
Okay, yeah, so it's been an interesting session. I think we did like talk about really important points in terms of starting out and just like our learnings through ReShape. And I think that's the idea behind this segment, is just for us to like reflect and think what we could have done differently and try and like, I guess, share our journey with you guys. So again, like if y'all have any questions for us, do let us know. Okay, bye. I think I might cut that out, but.
I swear, Joel, if you say another speech in the video, I will come to your house and I'll slap you. I have a very good story to say, but then as soon as I say the story, the consultant will know who it is. So,
oh, damn it.
It's about them.
I think I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, I want to know.
We all know him.
Yeah, we cut it out, right? Okay, fine. We cut from here. Now say the story, and then when we come back.
30.
Okay. Yeah, so action, guys. So now behave.
Next week, next week, if Goss forgets that we have a call, let's not remind him.
Yeah.
I thought we were roasting Joel. Why are we roasting me? We have to roast Joel.
I think if to give Joel a bit of a break, we roast him too much.
Please. I need them.
Okay.
I need to eat a Kit Kat.
Okay,
have a break.
Stop.
Are we actually hanging up now, or is it just for the YouTube?
The recording.
For the